Greetings family, welcome back to my channel. In this particular video, I have a carbonation update to bring to my subscribers because we had some tumultuous events which took place in the past few weeks. Okay, as you all might be aware, ELIANA, who is also known as Velvet, has made another departure from the carbonation community. Okay. Most recently, she has released several live streams detailing the nature of their relationship, detailing some of the abusive activities that are taking place behind closed doors. Alright. The fact is, the abusive language is actually taking place before the international community, because as of late, Nature Boy has also decided to verbally abuse another sister who was called MALIA. He called her a series of expletives. He called her a whore. He called her a hoe. He called her bees. You know, the reality is, in the absence of ELIANA, Nature Boy has basically become more violent and become more abusive towards the remaining members of Carbonation. Alright, and I think most recently the sister MALIA was seen on live with a bruised lip, and many people were speculating that perhaps her lip was bruised by Nature Boy himself. Okay, but what I want to talk about in this particular video, I want to talk about sentimental attachments, and I also want to talk about abusive relationships. Okay, but in light of the recent events, you can see that ELIANA has struggled with leaving the organization, and people wonder, why is she struggling to leave the organization? She's been outside of the organization and she went back, you know. And I think this really speaks to sentimental attachments. Sometimes we become attached to our abusers. Alright? I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome. You know, sometimes we become attached to the people who are doing us the most harm. And I think it's because we've developed these attachments based on the length of time that we've spent around people, or in some cases because we have allowed these individuals to prescribe the way that we think. Okay, I believe it was Ashra Kwesi who said that whoever prescribes the circumference of your thinking, they will also determine the diameter of your awareness. Okay, so as you all can see, in the carbonation community, all of the people are forced to discuss things in the terms that are acceptable to Nature Boy. Okay, they all begin to adopt his lingo, they adopt his reasoning, and therefore, the deeper people go into these type of attachments and relationships, the more difficult it will be to break away from it. Because in effect, you think like them, and so ultimately it will be difficult for you to actually break away from them. Alright? And you know, in terms of logic, all of your faculties would have been prescribed for you by a person who was basically manipulating you. Alright, and so we found that even with a child, ELIANA has now departed. She left the organization, and she's left MALIA now in the position where she's now receiving the lion's share of the abuse and the humiliation on the internet. Alright, this thing is looking less like a spiritual community, and it's looking more like Iceberg Slim and his harem, you know. And I think we need to really reach out to the sisters. If anyone can intervene, let's intervene for the sister MALIA, and let's try to see if we can reform, if it's possible to reform this organization. Alright, but family, let me know your thoughts in the comments below about all these dynamics. One love.